Hello, we're back. We've had a break for a couple of weeks, but we're back. We
Mhm.
are Geeks Assembled, and as usual, Susan joins me from across the pond.
Hi.
Hey, she's had a break for a couple of weeks. She's been to a convention, she's been visiting family, and she's back. She's back with this group.
Yay.
Hey, and so we're going to start off with this movie from 2007, I think it was, starring Jim Carrey and Virginia Madsen, uh, directed by Joel Schumacher, I think it was.
Mhm.
Um, a very strange one, this. Not many people talk about this movie, and it's all about conspiracy and how far things can take over your thoughts and mind.
Mhm.
So we are talking the number 23. So it's a story of Jim Carrey's character, what was it, Walter Sparrow, who is gifted on his birthday a book called The Number 23. And everything is coincidence that everything adds up to 23. And then there's this story of murder and deceit in the book, which plays on Walter's mind. So we're going to go over to Susan for her opening thoughts on number 23.
Yeah, okay. This story apparently was written by Fernley Phillips, but it is more than more than a little loosely based on things that the writer William S. Burroughs was all involved with. Okay, Lee, I don't know if you've noticed this, but um, this summer you have been kind of in a in a matrix, shall we say, of William S. Burroughs things. We watched Queer,
Mm-hmm.
which was a direct adaptation of one of his stories, and then the number 23 is a ch- um, it's sort of a chopped up. It's one of the pieces that is chopped up in his the way he writes was sort of cut and paste or cut and it's kind of like you know collage with ideas and collage with words.
Yeah.
And in this case, um, in this case, it was written by somebody else because I think it's because the story in it is about an author who gets caught up in something and forgets that he wrote a book about something that is dominating his reality. And
Mm-hmm.
he seems to have chopped up a bit of his own ideas and put them in random sort of order and had two narratives built into that, one about one woman and another one called um one called Suicide Blonde and one called Laura Tollins. And you know, the it, I mean, Jim Carrey and Virginia Madsen act their faces off because
Yeah.
I mean, this is a really difficult thing to tell, and you know, that's the that's what makes this a lot more smooth actually than the underlying story and then the narrative in the movie actually, because you know the content of each story as it affects every other story, the written page and the dream state of our protagonist, who is also our antagonist. He's totally an anti-hero, which is who William S. Burroughs actually is to the whole of American society, because William S. Burroughs was someone who preferred heroin to like really anything, and he went down a rabbit hole himself. I'm going to read you some things, so a little bit of the research that I did, because I went down a rabbit hole once I realized that I had heard about this stuff when I was reading Cities of the Red Knight and Junkie and Queer and Naked Lunch, and I brought out my Naked Lunch movie because I just as a reminder of where I'm going with this, because it's challenging. This one is the written works that he was basing his part of 23 on was Robert Anton Wilson and Robert Shane's The Illuminatus, and the cosmic I can't read my writing. The final secret of the Illuminati, the cosmic frog. No, that's not it.
The cosmic frog.
I'll have to look it up again, but it's actually the final secret of the Illuminati, and then also the Law of Fives and the 23 Enigma. And those were written by Arthur Koestler. And The Challenge of Chance, a mass experiment in telepathy, also written by Arthur Koestler. And the Principia Discordia, which is a compiled book of discordant reality based primarily or as an homage to Principia Mathematica by Newton, but Principia Discordia is all of the other stuff, all of the crazy, like, it's basically like the QAnon of the 1900s. So you have discovered through this movie, you discover that there is a part of these stories that comes from all over the world, and that is like focused in on some of the psychedelic parts of the United States in the 50s, 60s. And that's when these other stories were written and then, published actually in the 70s, 80s. And that's when I discovered them. I read parts of the Principia Discordia. I read the Challenge of Chance, the mass experiment in telepathy. I also read The Final Secret of the Illuminati and the Illuminatus by Robert Anton Wilson. I was challenged to read those by some very trippy people because they're very trippy books, and so I am now more aware of what this does in a really big way. And when you begin to parse it out, I think that Lee, you were saying something when just before we were starting, like that everything has to do with that once you start noticing things, you'll notice a lot of things. So
Yeah.
I'd like to know what you're noticing now that you've started down this road.
Oh, can't tell you that.
5, is it the law of fives, or is it the 23 enigma?
You see, I did a bit of homework on the 23 Enigma because I've heard of that before. I did a bit of reading on that.
Mhm.
This is sort of, as you said, loosely based on that sort of theory. Um, and when you start looking into it, as you say, you went down a rabbit hole. Um, and if you go down the rabbit hole with these type of theories, God, it's getting out of the rabbit hole. That's the problem. So I didn't go too far down. Down, not like you, Susan. But yeah, it's just I found it with the theme of the 23, and with the character noticing it in the book and everything. I don't know, birthdays and anniversaries or whatever, this, that, and that adds up, and it's always 23. Um, and you think, can this be true? And when you sort of experiment with it, it does turn out that way more than often that the 23 does crop up, which is I thought, well, but what, but what is the answer to that? You know, it's like as we know with the our old friend of Douglas Adams, the meaning of life, 42. We never got an answer to that really. Have we got an answer to 23? No. And what you said about the five? What was the five one, Susan?
So it's the law of fives,
The law of
because
five.
okay, because once you get it down to 23, what is 2 plus 3? 5. So it
All
becomes
right.
5. Even 3 plus 2, even the inverse becomes 5. So you end up with 23 everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and then you end up with 32 as like the mirror. So you can tell what side of the mirror you're on by whether or not you end on 23 or 32. Okay,
Yeah.
but then due to that, everything boils down to the law of fives. And it challenges you to argue that some things that is absolutely the truth on. I mean, it absolutely, if you're working with Hebrew letters, and the fact that each Hebrew letter uh, reveals a number, then that happens, and that's part of the code. And then if
Mm-hmm.
you look at Roman numerals, and 23 is XXIII, and you've got that in lots of different places. That's 2 X's and 3 I's. 3 I's, one, two, three. And I mean, it's just like the whole thing brings you into this this dramatic, really dramatic sort of, it's sort of surprising how much boils down to these things. And so due to this kind of surprise, our main character, that fingerling guy, who actually is the main character, apparently.
Mm.
You know, the guy in the book is more honest about the guy in the red book is more honest than the guy who lives in the red room, the red
Yeah.
room. I just noticed that, you know, once I was like into that place. What did you think about that? The difference between the guy in the book and the guy in the red painted room.
Well, when
Sparrow
you
versus Fingerling.
yeah, well, Sparrow, his his reality is merging, isn't it? With he's thinks it's the book, what's written in the book, all these images in from the book are merging, and but what he what he doesn't realize until the end of the movie is the book was written by him.
Mm-hmm.
So you know he was he was the he was the bad guy
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the movie. But as you said, that Fingerling was the honest person writing the because it was a as it says it was a confession.
There you
It
go.
wasn't meant to be a book. But then of course he tries to kill himself by suicide and doesn't succeed, loses his memory. Just by chance or coincidence, his wife finds the book in a second-hand shop. So it's like gone full circle.
Oh.
Was it meant to be that the book came back to the author? You know, or is it just one of those crazy coincidences? Um, yeah, as you said, Carrie
I
absolutely
wonder how much she paid for the book. You know, she probably paid
very yeah.
$23.99, you know.
But yeah, with Carrie though. I mean, he is a known comedian,
Mm-hmm.
comedy actor, and for me, I always found comedy actors are such damn good straight actors. They really, you know, because they always say comedy is the hardest thing to do. If you can nail comedy, straight acting like it is, and dramatic acting will just come like second nature. And he proved it in this. He's proved it in other movies, like Robin Williams did. He proved it in other movies that he's such damn good actors. These comedians. Just once you watch it, you forget all the funny stuff what Gary did.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You just believe that he's being somehow this obsession with the 23. It's just driving him mad. It's driving his wife further away from him, or getting she has to ask a friend for help.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, he's got his son on his side, giving him
Yeah.
his support. Played by what was his name? Uh, what's his
Logan
name?
Lerman.
Logan Lerman, who went on to do other stuff, Percy Jackson and all like that. But yeah, it, this movie though, I would say you need to watch it more than once because there's things what you do miss
Yeah.
because of all the theory, conspiracy this and conspiracy that. Um, but on second watch, you get it all.
Yeah.
Um, and it's in the end he confessed and went to
And
prison.
and part of the one of the key factors in William S. Burroughs' storytelling is that there is always someone who has to go through a trial
Mm.
where the other person that they're in relationship with, usually the wife, has to do something absolutely mind-blowing. Like in Naked Lunch, it's the William Tell bit. And she puts an apple on her head, and instead of shooting the apple, he shoots her.
Mm.
And that's how he gets into Inner Zone. And in this one, she has to dig up that lady's body.
Yep.
And I mean, he finds her. He finds the lady's body, even though the priest is the same in the book and in the real life. So you kind of get because of that similarity, you get the sort of, oh, they're the same. Okay. So anyway, when is that she has to dig up the dead body and then she dies. I mean, in a way, it's just that that Toland dies, and in the book, and then they discover the real person in the graveyard. Okay, and then the other like, sort of thing is that there's always somebody, a doctor, who is completely untrustworthy in every single cotton picking story that he ever wrote. Even yeah, every single one. Junkie, Queer, Naked Lunch, City of the Red Dawn, all, like everything that he ever did. And this one, the untrustworthy doctor is Dr. Miles Phoenix. And oh boy, I mean, you just get the feeling that either Isaac French is into all the girls that Fingerling is into, or excuse me, Dr. Phoenix is into all the girls that Fingerling is into, and French is into his wife. I mean, so like there's kind of that untrustworthy, like desperately these the doctors are in Naked Lunch. It's Benway, Dr. Benway, and he's actually like someone who deals in mugwumptism and powder. And then this one, he is part of his whole thing is based on the 23. So I mean, he's actually trying to lead Fingerling further and further afield. And I mean, that's just part of the way that Burroughs writes. And then the other thing that's really interesting that I can't tell you enough is that this one has so many flashbacks to his childhood.
Yeah.
And that is different from all the other stories. None of them, except for this one particularly, flashback. And let's see. Okay, so those are the moments that I noticed that I could loop back to his writings. And I mean, I'm done. I've finished my list of important things that I noticed. So,
oh, cool.
Back over to you. What did you notice? What were What were your favorite bits?
Well, as I say, it's just um, the scene with when they discover who, because it wasn't just Walter after he wrote his confession about the 23. It affected the other doctor who was who had him in the institution. It took over his life. So it wasn't just wasn't what like one person affected by this. This writing in this red book affected another person. Doctor, was it Doctor Leary? I think it was Doctor Leary. Budcoat played him. Before he sort of killed himself in front of Walter's wife. So it's just the writing. It wasn't just an unstable mind what got affected by it by this writing. The writing affected anyone. If you let it go deeper and deeper into what he wrote. I mean, in the movie, the wife mentions that she'd read it. It didn't affect her at all, which was I thought a little bit strange. But then I thought, yeah, because Jim Carrey's character wrote it, so it's playing on his it's making sparks in his head and thinking, oh, what's bringing back memories, and the memories start to merge with real life. You know, all the scenes of all the sex and everything like that had happened. Not in this sort of detective way of a comic book detective, Pulp Fiction
Exactly.
reading matter, which was in the case. So all that was going round, and he was merging that into some sort of scenario, and of course we didn't find out until near the end of it. He was a saxophone. He had a saxophone. We thought, all right, he's been sort of cool being a 1950s detective, got a saxophone, but then he's got the comic books in the case of this detective and the Pink Lady, and so yeah, it's just the way it was really well crafted. And I'm surprised as well with Joel Schumacher. He is well known. Well, was well known. He's no longer with us.
Oh.
Making movies, but he always used to put a little bit of camp in his movies. Joel Schumacher, was it The Lost Boys, Batman Forever? He went slightly over the top with his movies. Did Joel Schumacher? But this was it's so dark and deep.
It's gritty. It's
Yeah,
really down to earth, and it is deep.
I was
Really,
I was quite
really
surprised. I was quite surprised when his name was associated with it. I thought, wow, it's something totally different to what Schumacher is known for. But yeah, it does make you think. Once you go down a rabbit hole, I always say if you go down a rabbit hole, make sure you've got a ladder to get out of it. Susan just managed it today.
Oh.
But also as well, you've mentioned the character of Isaac French and Dr. Miles Finch, played by Danny Houston, another great actor. From the famous Houston family.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't often make movies, but when he's in them, the scenes he's in, you're watching him all the time. He's
Yeah.
one of those actors what sort of steals the scene or the screen. Yeah, he sort of bedazzles you.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's a very good actor. I think that's all. Any more from you, Susan?
Yeah, one more thing is, you know, you've got the new. I mean, this is in a way this is pretty noir, and in another way,
Yeah.
it is a bit like it's a bit too colorful to be noir. So in a way, it is very the
Do you think do you think that if Schumacher had filmed uh did the detective stuff black and white, would that have worked more noir for you? Just
yeah,
just
the fingerling stuff would have been
yeah
what I mean that would have, but the trouble is that that would have been hard to mesh into the reality at that point.
yeah.
So you know he had to make a decision about that. The other thing that this movie, the other sort of unwritten genre that this is sort of it's sort of like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It has someone who thinks he's got his shit together because he lives in a nice house, and he ends up being like the king of the crazies. And I like that. I like that a lot. And then, but in this one, there is a in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the Native American character chief was the was the avatar of the point of no return.
Mm.
And in this one, that avatar, that person, that character was actually the character of the dog,
Ned.
Ned.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Like near something a dead dog.
It'll
Yeah,
be it'll be double D dead.
yes. And so I really I like uh, you know the I mean, if this was Death Note, that would be one of the death gods. And
Mm-hmm.
if this was, you know, Terry Pratchett, it would be played by Death, played by Christopher Lee. I mean, that's that's who this character of Ned really, you know. And if you flip it over, you know, people who are going through cancer treatment are always looking for that diagnosis of Ned, no
Yeah.
evidence of disease. And so, you know, Ned has got a lot of, I mean, he's either the redeemer or like the the prophetic view that things are going really far wrong. Anyway, those are those are big avatars that you know you kind of like, wow, point of no return. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's really what that in my mind, that's what that represents. And I mean, what an interesting looking dog too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was. Um, I've got really nothing else to go on this. If you haven't, shall we go to final scene
Oh,
score?
oh, and the beautiful music. I mean, there was kind of this.
Yeah, we'll do the
One more
music.
thing was that the '80s music kind of, or '80s early '90s music was really. I can't remember who played. I was
Well, this movie was from 2007, but
the music was. Let me see if I can find
uh,
the thing that says.
Harry Gregson Williams did the music.
Yeah, there was Blue Christmas
Yeah,
by Dean Martin, and then Tear You Apart, performed by She Wants Revenge. And I mean, that was an adaptation of the New Order songs and the banality of evil, performed by Nine Horses, and that was sort of a pastiche of Kraftwerk, or earlier even maybe KLF. And
yeah,
that's another thing, is that KLF, that whole thing, that KLF is all about that 23 and that Ancient Amumu, and honest to goodness, there is the KLF is part of that whole Illuminatus thing, or Justified Ancient Amumu, Challenge of Chance, the
yeah.
what is it, that thing? Is it cosmic something? I'll figure it out. And let me see if I saved it. Um, uh, yeah. Their name comes from that Illuminatus book by Robert Anton Wilson. Okay.
Cool,
So
cool.
anyway, yeah. So that song could have been a remix of that. Anyway, or a take on that. I really loved the those aspects of this thing too. So and, let me see. I was gonna Cosmic Trigger is the name of is the first part of the final secret of the Illuminati. So that's it. Cosmic Trigger. And there you got the gun. Okay.
So it's not a cosmic frog; it's a cosmic trigger.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
get there.
Got it.
Where did the frog come from? But who knows?
Because that's what it looks like. That's what my writing looks like. I'm sorry. I can't. Sometimes I can't read my own writing.
But anyways, shall we go final say and score?
Yeah, sure.
Over to you then.
All right. Well, I've never seen this before. I am I am thrilled that this summer you have taken me on William S. Burroughs experience. I mean, you didn't even know that you're doing it, but this has been a summer of rediscovering him, and how what an amazing human being he was, and what a crazy writer he was, and how intense are all those things that he talks about. I mean, this rule of fives, 23, the 23 Enigma. I mean, what is that? And why, how deep does all this stuff go? Well, I know it ends up going to Inner Zone. So that's a heck of a long way. That's all the way down heroin, and that's all the way down LSD, and that's all the way at the end of cocaine. I mean, like way down there. And then it's like, past the gates of Yage, and all those other ones, ayahuasca, the Yage ayahuasca. That Oh my gosh, it's just amazing. So thank you. 10 out of 10. Dug Up Bones. I got a lot of. I loved Virginia Madsen's hands all covered with dirt. I mean, that to me was like that was one of the most interesting transition moments, seeing that she was doing that for him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Over to
Me,
you.
I was going to say I'll give it a 2 and a 3, but that only adds up to 5. But no, it's not. It's going to be a 1 and a 0. It's going to be 10 out of 10. It's 10 23s out of 10. If you can understand that.
Yes.
We're going down another rabbit hole.
And then
Yeah.
if we have 3 more, then we have 23. 10 and 10 and 2.
No. But yeah, it's a good psychological thriller. This, and the actors just act the socks off, and it does make you think. And as Susan's proved, she's you could eventually end up going down that hole if you want to find out more about the 23 part of it.
On your finger.
Yeah, it is a good must-see movie. It was a fairly successful movie at the box office, but it didn't set the world alight. But it was a success. So that's our little review of the number 23. Have you seen it, you guys out there? Let us know. Leave us a message on the video. What do you think of it? Bad, good, mediocre, superb, wonderful? Let us know. Also, if you want to join us, leave a message on this video below. Just say, I'm 18 and over. I would like to take part in your videos, become part of your group, and we'll see if we can get you on. All we ask you to do is be over 18, have a working camera and microphone of the device you have. And you will find this video with all of our other videos shared across social media platforms. We're easy to find. And is that it, Susan? Oh, yeah, one more thing. If you do fancy subscribing to our YouTube channel, please feel free to press the bell notification button and you will be notified every time we post a video about a movie, about a TV series, about audio drama, you name it, we go there. So, and that's it, Susan. Anything else before we go?
Oh.
No. You're going to go into your rabbit hole?
Yeah. I, the fact that this was all, that this movie came out in the 2000s, and yet it talks about all of the conspiracy, all of these major conspiracy theories from World War One.
Oh yeah, in the beginning credits. Yeah.
Till like right now, or I'm sorry, till like the turn of the millennium. It's just fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's a very underrated movie. As I said, not many people talk about it because I don't think many people know about it. And this is what Geeks Assemble do. We don't always do the blockbusters. We do sometimes, get out the blockbuster movies, but we do like to delve deeper into other movies. What no one's going to say Susan's never seen this one before. Now she has, and she's a better woman for it, aren't you, Susan?
Yeah. This summer, the 2 William S. Burroughs that we've watched have really enriched my life and have granted me more more sort of visual audio of the man whose writings I absolutely adore.
Cool. And on that note, I think we should end it here. Thank you for joining me, Susan. It's been a pleasure as always. And you guys, as I say, get in touch with us. Let us know what you think of our group. We don't care. We're thick-skinned if you don't like us, but we just have fun here, don't we, Susan?
Absolutely.
So until next time, guys, please be safe and watch out for those rabbit holes.